Hey YouTube, 6200 here, back again with another video. This is a part of the Married Man Advice 101 series, the only series I have. Um, and in this one, I want to talk a little bit about why you should focus on essentially yourself. And I know it's a popular message, especially within the manosphere. But it's just my perspective, right? Why you should prioritize your values, your goals, whatever those goals are, and your own satisfaction, right? As opposed to prioritizing someone else's, especially a woman's. Um, I'll, I'll I'll start this way. Let me actually pose a question. I don't know if whomever is watching this, if you keep up with um, the diaries of your typical modern day woman, right? But I do, and one thing I can say is I noticed that um, a lot of women tend to change once they turn at about 35 or so. With that, it really depends on their status quo, right? So what I noticed is that the single and unmarried women at around 35, they tend to start pining to be married, right? So they're single, they handle everything on their own. All of a sudden, they want to be married. Let's say reach that 35-year-old age. Um, the married women, on the other hand, who are 35, they are pining to be single. And I find that pattern to be quite strange. But at the same time, it's not entirely unexpected. There's a lot of information out there, especially history, documented history. I mean, you can even take it to the Bible, that effectively women are just not happy, right? They're never really happy. Being content is just not something that they're really capable of, at least not on their own. Regardless of how anyone feels about what I just said or thinks about what I just said, yeah, that's just the deal. That's my observation. It's many people's observation. Um, and with that, it would seem, if not be very clear, that there is no making a woman happy. And with that, I can then say, well, if there's no making a woman happy, because if she has what women say they want, which is stability and relationship and a family, but then she wants to be free, and then the ones that are free, uh, they they want the stability, the relationship, and the family. Then what is the point of trying to please or satisfy or satiate a woman? Honestly, there doesn't really seem to be one, which then causes you to question, at least for me, if there really is no pleasing or satiating a woman, then why don't I spend that energy satiating myself, pleasing myself? Why don't I actually focus on the things that matter more to me? Like, why aren't my values and my goals and my aspirations and my well-being, why aren't these things more important? Why aren't they higher on the priority list? And quite frankly, I think for the most successful men, which are typically your top 10%, and even really your top 1 to 2%, I think that's actually more of a practice, right? So these are men are normally more disciplined. They're normally a lot more laser focused on the things that they deem to be worthwhile, as opposed to women, because they do understand, they've already accepted that um, there's no pleasing a woman. And it makes sense, especially when you look at it from a biblical standpoint, right? The woman was put here to be your companion, right? Because you are not supposed to be alone as a man, right? It's not the natural decree. So there, it really violates the natural order to make your life about your companion. It really doesn't make any sense, right? You as a man, you're put here to do things. You're put here, you're utilitarian. That's why we're not typically pretty. I mean, look, I'm not a woman. I don't wear makeup. I don't have my nails done. I don't care about any of that stuff. Um, I wear a chain and or a ring because I'm married. That's it. Um, but my duty really is to be of service to myself first of all. Well, really, God. Um, if you're gonna go by biblical standard, right? To my Creator, myself, my family, because I can't do anything for my family if I don't put myself first. And then, of course, once my family is solid, my broader community, right? That's the point. That is the point. But all that gets disrupted if I'm focusing and sending my prime energy towards that of a woman, where it just basically goes into the nether realm. Um, and you can ask yourself, uh, this very same question if you find yourself struggling with this. Uh, when's the last time you bought your girlfriend, I don't know, some flowers and maybe, flowers, candy? You did something really romantic, really special. How far does that actually get you? Once the moment itself is gone, right? How far does that get you? The answer doesn't really get you far at all, at least not past that moment, right? I say that I say that because, quite frankly, I can understand that it is somewhat intoxicating when you do something special for your woman and you see her reaction. Um, you're kind of going by how she feels, and you get to be that hero. It's a wonderful feeling. It 100% is. It is a wonderful feeling. But the key to remember here is that it's a feeling. It's just a feeling, and it is fleeting, right? Not only is it a fleeting feeling, but other feelings can come about, right? And I'm not looking to necessarily, sit down and just take a dump on your hopes, dreams, and all that stuff. But I am here to give you the reality because I want younger men to understand things that um, us older men, I'm 43, so I am now like middle aged. I'm a middle aged man. I have some experience under my belt. And I think it's valuable to the younger men out there to get this kind of lesson, to get this kind of information straight up, right? No chaser. Do not make your life about pleasing women. Don't. And especially for the younger brothers out there, the black men, the younger ones. We are raised in a particular environment, that matriarchal society or family, broken family, where the mom's in charge. You probably didn't have a father growing up, and you were trained to please women, and you started with your mom. You know how to perform emotional labor. You know how to manage, your mom's emotions and maybe any other women in your immediate vicinity. You know how to calm them down. You know how to make them happy. That is not the purpose of a man. That's not. What that does is, even though it builds a certain muscle for you, where yes, it can be useful, absolutely, but it takes away from your primary purpose as a man. You can't build and please a woman at the same time. That's just nonsense. We have to be more ruthless as men, just in general, but especially for the younger black men out there. You gotta be more ruthless. Don't care as much about whether or not a woman is happy with what you're doing for her. Focus on what the end goal is, whatever that is, right? Whatever that end goal is, you put your energy into that. And you come before her. You come before her. You cannot be Mr. Strongman building and providing and protecting for a family when you're thinking about how you can best serve this female. Just doesn't make any sense. Just take your emotions out of it, step back and think about it logically. Does that make sense? It's always going to be no. You come first. Outside of your creator, you come first. When you have what you need, you can go and set out to build whatever it is you want. You can share, if you want to share your resources with a woman, do that, although I suggest you don't do it here, not in the States. Find a very patriarchal environment that can support that if that's what you want. But start with you. That is my advice. Married Man 101. 6200.